evening. You never hear a vampire say good morning. Duh, it's because they don't like the sun. You're probably saying to yourself, Parissa, it's not evening. Au contraire, Pierre. It's actually 9:45 at night, but with the power of lights. Tricked ya. I know you're curious, it's miscellaneous. The past couple days have been, I'm gonna get some socks. My feet are cold. Said the bride on her wedding day. Anywho, the past couple days have been kind of sad for the Disney Channel family because one of its most cherished shows, Liv and Maddie, recorded its final episode. This show holds a very special place in my heart because I actually got the privilege to be on one of the episodes. I wanted to tell you guys about my experience because it was pretty darn special. We're gonna go all the way from the taping, auditioning, to the taping. Yeah, that's the right one. I was sent this audition in my email from my representation. It was just another day. I get auditions all the time, but every time I get a Disney one, it's pretty exciting. The breakdown was actually pretty simple. It said something like 15 to 17-year-old soprano singer show choir kid. You're looking at her. It turns out on the day that I had the audition, I had like 2 other auditions. So I was driving to and fro and stop and go. I got to this audition like with 2 minutes to spare. Killing the game. So I pull up to Hollywood Center Studios where Liv and Maddie is taped, and I go up to the gatekeeper and I hand him my driver's license. I say, hey, I am Parissa Davila and I'm here for a Liv and Maddie audition. He lets me in. I round the corner to the casting office building and I see all of these kids. They're all like my age. That's when you know you're in the right place. So I go in and I sign in, and someone comes out and they pair us in groups of 4 and they explain to us that we are going to be performing the song. Oh, I forgot one little detail. They had sent us a song to practice on our own before we arrived for the audition. Now you think that'd be an easy thing to do, right? Okay. Just remember that. So all of the groups split up. Some stay inside, some stay outside. The first group I was put in was actually really cool. Everyone knew their voice parts. We spent most of the time choreographing the dance, and one of the vocalists selected, Holland Noel, was actually in my first group. Now we're really good friends. That's crazy to think about. Holland was actually telling us that he had pre-choreographed it in his head on the way there in the car, so we kind of picked up the moves that he had made already. There's not much to talk about group 1 actually, because it would just work. So we go in and we perform the song twice, and if you've seen the episode, it's the scenes at the beginning and at the end. They say thank you very much, go ahead and wait outside for further instructions. Nobody likes to talk to each other because it's always intense. So they come back out and put us into new groups. Round 2. Let me start off by saying that all of the kids in all of the groups were super talented. Like, you can hear them from the parking lot and everything, and everyone sounded really good. That being said, not everyone was prepared, so it gave people like us a lot more to handle. I'm talking with the kids in my second group and they're like, yeah, I saw the song, didn't have a chance to listen to the song. I'm like, that's the whole point of the audition. We're supposed to know all of our parts. So guess who had to find everyone's harmonies? It just made it so much more stressful because we were just working on the voice parts rather than balancing our time with voice parts and formation and choreography, when this could have been handled if everyone had just come prepared. My second group goes in and we actually sounded pretty decent for only having like 20 minutes. This audition was just different than other auditions because you may have come prepared, but if somebody in your group didn't, then you might just be screwed. Like, there's only so much you can do. The whole first day of auditions lasted about an hour and a half. Then, about 2 days later, I got a callback. Little happy days, little happy days, little happy days. I went back to Hollywood Center Studios and I saw my group from last time. Turns out they had narrowed it down to 3 groups. They gave us a little time to rehearse, and this time we performed for the casting director and the executive producers, Susan Goddard-Smith, John Beck, and Ron Hart. And I think Jimmy Bellinger was in there too. The second day was just so much fun. There were more people in the audition room, and much more energy to work off of, and we were just all laughing together and having a blast. So I go in with my final group from the previous audition and do our thing. And right when I think we're free to go, Susan comes out and assigns me to my final group. Andy, Parissa, and Garrett. They all actually were their own group. I was the only one from a different group. They were really nice about it, and they taught me their choreography in like 5 minutes, and we went and did it. And they knew all their voice parts. And let me tell you, something about that last group really did just feel good. Not to mention we had a complete mix of nationality, which Disney just loves. We went in there and nailed it. Bam! What? And that was it. About 3 days later, I got the call from my manager. My manager thinks she's so funny. This was me. What does she have to say? Hello? Hi, Marissa. Hey, Anna, how are you? I'm great. How are you doing today? I'm just great. But I'm really thinking. Just tell me why you called. Well, I've got some good news. I really don't think I even said anything. You booked Liv and Maddie! Big happy dance, big happy dance. Oh, it was so exciting. And then I cried for a very long time. You have to understand that this is Disney Channel. I grew up watching this. Stop. On Wednesday, I got there 30 minutes early because I always try to be punctual. And speaking of P's, Principal Lawler was the first person I saw. The other PorcuPipers begin to show up, and we all head to the soundstage where we rehearsed the final scene. We had a choreographer there, and we learned all new choreography. It only took about an hour, because we're pros. It was just a run through, so nobody was in outfits. Most people were in like sweats or jackets, because it's pretty cold in the sound stages. It was all about blocking. Our first day, we actually got to meet the rest of the cast. Dove Cameron, Joey Bragg, Tenzing Trainer, Jordan Fisher. He's cute. They were all really nice. They all came up individually to introduce themselves, and we introduced ourselves, and they welcomed us to their show. So after choreography rehearsal, and after the rehearsal of scene 1, we go to the wardrobe apartment, which is actually across the street of the lot. So we walk over there, and they have these racks set up for us individually that they predicted in advance they thought might work. They actually started out putting me in like hipster clothes. So I had like a beanie and ripped jeans and like combat boots, which I loved. All super comfortable stuff. It's funny, they had me go back into wardrobe because the network wanted me in a more Leah Michelle Glee look. Then I turned from hipster to prep school with like a plaid dress and the knee-high socks and like the little, oh, it's so cute. Maybe this was a 3-day shoot. Tuesday, Wednesday, I don't remember. After we got our outfits confirmed, we head to the network run-through, which means we do the entire episode for the network executives. Walking and talking.
We're walking and talking. Makeup.
A lot harder than
I
it
need to take a
seems.
5. Can someone get a camera on my angle? Oh Lord.
Oh my God. The way that a double-space multicam TV show is usually set up is that the sets are right next to each other and behind each other in these rows. So we start out in the choir room at the top of the episode, and if the next episode is in the living room of Liv and Maddie, then all of the network executives walk over to that set and they watch that scene happen. And then they walk over to the next set and watch that scene happen. And then they walk over to the next set and they watch that scene happen. Just to make sure everything's running smoothly and that the storyline makes sense. And the next day we shot the 2 scenes. I mean, they had other scenes to shoot too, but my scenes were at the beginning of the day, so. It's really interesting to see all of the series regulars do their thing, like in person. See how hard they work and what they do every day. Pretty inspiring. For being such a young cast, they're so mature. They just portray the writing so well. I think that's what makes the show a great one. So at the end of the shoot, they invited us PorcuPipers back the next day to sit in the VIP section during the live audience.
It's time for the show. It's time for the show. Walking Talking Part 2.
They actually rough edited the scenes from the previous day to fit in the spaces between the scenes that were being shot during the live audience. So they played our scene, and then they shot a scene in the house, and then they played another scene, just so the audience wasn't getting confused as to what was happening. In between shooting each scene, that is a tongue twister, shooting each scene, they had a dance party. And at the very, very end, we got to participate in the curtain call. I just want to thank my Lamb, Liv and Maddie family for giving me the push I needed credit-wise to be in this industry, and an unforgettable opportunity. I want to congratulate you on an amazing show and amazing promotional skills, and I wish you guys a very fruitful future. Keep doing you guys, and Dove, keep being a really great role model for this upcoming generation. If you guys enjoyed story time, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and comment down below. If you guys have seen the episode, tell me what your favorite part was. Mwah. Much appreciated. And I'll catch you guys later with another weekly dose of random.
I'm start taking a video of you guys.
Oh my God!